Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this October the 23rd, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Monday out there so far. Everybody has a great Monday afternoon. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you've got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the tropics. As you can see here is Hurricane Tammy. Look, and here's Bermuda right here. Tammy is headed straight for Bermuda. It is expected to impact Bermuda sometime around mid to late week. So you guys will be in the path of the Hurricane Tammy, but it should be a tropical storm by the time it reaches you guys as well. Alright, here is Invest 95L. We'll be talking about that in today's video as well. Going to move into Central America and looks to move off into the Eastern Pacific. So we won't have to worry about that system as well. Also, here's some other tropical wave we need to keep an eye on as well. Also some back here in the in the MDR region as well. Down in this area here, some scattered showers and storms in this area here need to be monitored as well. Alright, here is the remnants of what was Norma moving over Mexico and Texas, bringing some rainfall to you guys. Also in the portion of Arkansas. Also we got another cold front bringing some snow, freezing rain, sleet, rain up into the Pacific Northwest, all the way over into the middle portion of the country, over toward the Dakotas. It will be moving into Minnesota and also over toward the Wisconsin region, and maybe far south is Kansas and Nebraska, maybe even northern New Mexico as well, and also into Colorado. You may get in on some wintry precipitation coming up later this week as well. I talked about that in an earlier video, I think last week. You're welcome to check it out and see where the precipitation is expected to fall in that region. Alright, well, if you're a new viewer and you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing one more time. And let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, folks, and let's continue with the forecast. Alright, let's take a look at Hurricane Tammy. Tammy is located, here's the center of circulation spinning here. As you can see here at the bottom of the screen, here is Puerto Rico. Here are the U.S. Virgin Islands here. The northeastern Caribbean islands as well, and also here is eastern Cuba as well, located right here. But Tammy is well north of you guys. The feeder bands are still pulling through portions of the Caribbean islands down here in the Leeward and Windward Islands. You expect some more rainfall over the northern northeastern areas, so be alert for that as well. Possible mudslides and also heavy rain and flooding problems as well in your area. Alright, we're going to move on to the forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center. Okay, should be coming up here in a second. Alright, here we go. Here's the Tropical Storm Force wind field here in the yellow. Hurricane force winds behind it. The National Hurricane Center keeps it a hurricane through 8 a.m. Wednesday. Then a post-tropical storm by 8 a.m. Tuesday, and remain a post-tropical storm as it affects Bermuda at 8 a.m. Saturday. So that's why I said toward in the late week, Bermuda would get affected by this storm. Alright, if you're tracking the system at home, it's located near latitude 21.9 north, longitude 63.9 west. Maximum sustained winds are near 80 miles an hour with higher gusts. Moving is to the north at 7 miles an hour. Classified as a hurricane with winds of 74 to 110 miles per hour. Alright, let's move on to the Spaghetti-O models here. They have changed just a little bit today. Yesterday the models had it going back to the southwest. Now the current position of the storm, pretty well compacted to about 72 hours out. It kind of converged. Still got some models wanting to shoot it back to the west. Now a good many of them now want to turn it off to the northeast. So it may make that turn over toward Bermuda and then back out to sea. That would be some great news if it would continue to move on out in that direction. So cross your fingers. That's the way that system will head on out to sea and will not affect the United States at this time. But like I say, let's take a look at the GEF ensembles real quick. I'll show you what they're showing. See, there are a lot of models of them is showing it heading back into the Bahamas and southern Florida, and also even Cuba. Some of them taking it out to sea. They kind of split half and half. But like I say, I'll continue to monitor. I hope it just continues to go on out to sea. Hopefully a cold front will get it and take it on out to sea. But this scenario is also in the playing cards as well. So I would not be surprised to see it may sneak back to the southwest and maybe move into the Gulf of Mexico later on down the road. So, but I'll be here to continue monitoring this situation. Through most of its life cycle. Some takes it up to a category 2, but a lot of them drops it off into a tropical storm. That's why the National Hurricane Center is going with a tropical storm, because most of the models are going into tropical storm. I would not be surprised this thing couldn't last a hurricane a little bit longer, but I'm going with the National Hurricane Center at this time for a tropical storm. Alright, let's move on to Invest 95L. As you can see here is the system getting a little bit better organized. Still remaining over B&C as it continues to push on off to the west. It should make landfall sometime tonight and early Tuesday morning. And you guys in this area here is going to be affected by some heavy rain, maybe some mudslides as well, and also lots of flooding problems as well in your vicinity. So get ready for problems and maybe some tornadic activity and some mudslides as well in mountainous terrains. Alright, let's move on to, we're going to move on to the spaghetti-o models of this system and see which way this system is forecasted to move. Position of the storm, send it through Central America. Most of the model takes it into the Eastern Pacific, and that's what I'm agreeing with as well. Yesterday it looked like it was going to go up this way, but now the models have shifted a little further to the south, and it should move into the Eastern Pacific, but it will move across Central America. That's why you'll see in a minute the models will take it down to a depression and then ramp it back up to a tropical storm, because it's supposed to get back over the Eastern Pacific waters. Alright, so let's take a look at that real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And the intensity guidance, as you can see here, it is about 30 knot winds. Should be already a tropical storm because it's 35 miles per hour, but like I said, it's got to have a closed circulation. Right now it currently does not, but it might before the day's out, so I would not be surprised to see tropical depression number 21 maybe form later today, if not tropical storm Vince. See, but most of the model keeps it into just a depression or below tropical storm status. Some takes it to tropical storm status later on down the road. That's the model of seeing that where it moves over the Pacific Ocean. So that's why I said it may still get vents. I think it still, even if it crosses in the Pacific Ocean, if it develops in the Caribbean Sea and crosses land and it don't weaken down much, and it'll still be vents as it moves into the Eastern Pacific. But if it moves into the Eastern Pacific, it may get a different name. But I'll keep you up to date, see what happens with that. All right, well, that's your tropical update. Now let's take a look at the watches warning. Advisory map. Alright, as you can see here is the winter storm watches and winter weather advisories that I was talking about over Washington State and also much of Montana, a little bit over portions of Wyoming. Also, we have some, I think that's fire weather statements. No, that's special weather statements for down here in Texas. Also up here in all of North Dakota and portions of Minnesota. Also portions of Georgia. Also, we have frost advisories up here in Virginia and also up toward the Maryland, Delaware, and maybe a little bit of northeastern areas of West Virginia as well. We have wind advisories over portions of California, a couple areas in Washington, Oregon State as well. Hawaiian Chain Island, we got one flood advisory for you guys here in the Hawaiian Chain Island north side. Everything else looks a-okay. We still had gale warnings, also storm warnings, also small craft advisory for coastal area of Alaska, winter storm warning, winter weather advisory for the northern portion of Alaska as well. All right, it's slowly coming up, folks. It's slowly coming up. All right, here is the day's outlook. As you can see, we got general thunderstorm, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Same over here in portions of South Dakota, back into Nevada. A little bit over northern portion of Montana, Idaho, and portions of northeast Washington State. Same over here in portions of Arizona and New Mexico, back into Kansas, down into Texas. We have a marginal risk down in southwest Texas. Same up here in portions of Minnesota and Wisconsin. All right, if you live in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Rochester, Minnesota, you're under marginal risk of severe weather today. This includes Green Bay, Wisconsin, and also St. Angelo, Texas, for severe weather as well. Tornado probability, 2% pretty much down in southwest Texas. This pretty much just covers St. Angelo, Texas in your area. All right, that's 2% risk. Let's see, damaging winds, less than 5% all areas. Large hail, 5% pretty much in portions of Minnesota and Wisconsin. All right, if you live in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Rochester, and Bloomington, Minnesota, 5% risk for large hail. And if you live in Green Bay, Wisconsin, 5% as well for large hail. Let's move on to day number 2. All right, you can see here's a general thunderstorm from up here around the Great Lakes, all the way back to Texas and also into New Mexico and Arizona. There's the marginal risk over southern Arizona and much of Texas. Same up here in portions of Minnesota, back into the Great Lakes region of Michigan as well, and Wisconsin areas. All right, if you live in, let's see, El Paso and Lubbock, Texas area, marginal risk for severe weather today. On your Tuesday, excuse me. If you live in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, you're under a marginal risk as well. And also if you live in Green Bay, Wisconsin, marginal risk as well for your Tuesday. All right, tornado probability, less than 2% all areas. Damaging winds. Let's take a look at the hail. Pretty much same locations, damaging winds and hail. So if you live in El Paso, Texas, Lubbock, Texas, 5% risk for damaging winds and large hail. If you live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, and Green Bay, Wisconsin, 5% risk for damaging winds and large hail in your vicinity. All right, let's move on to day number 3, which is Wednesday. All right, you can see general thunderstorm pretty much from the Great Lakes region, Michigan, Wisconsin, all the way down to Texas. Marginal risk down here in Texas as well. If you live in Abilene, San Angelo, Del Rio, Caryville, and Brownwood, Texas areas, marginal risk for severe weather on Wednesday. Probability, same areas, 5%. Abilene to Brownwood, Texas, and surrounding areas for 5% risk for severe weather on Wednesday. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this weather forecast. I hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. So enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not. And we'll catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful, wonderful Monday afternoon, folks. Take care.